Now, every once in a while, we actually need to cover a topic that is not a great part of living here in San Diego. And, well, guys, I hate to say it, but Prop 13, it's on the chopping block again. We're going to cover all of the details for you because this is the kind of need to know info you need to be aware of. So thanks for watching, subscribing, and sharing this video. So let's break down what's in the works for Prop 13. See, for the past 46 years, Prop 13 has been in place here in California, limiting property tax hikes on homeowners. Since 1978, property owners have had a sense of security, knowing that their annual property tax was at a set rate. To get you up to speed, the basics of Prop 13 are: Prop 13 limits property tax rates to 1% of the property's assessed value. There is a provision that caps any annual increase in assessed value. That cap can be limited to 2% or the rate of inflation, whichever is lower. Properties are reassessed at market value when they are sold or new construction occurs. See, Prop 13 applies to both residential and commercial properties. Prop 13 was a response to the rapidly rising property taxes in the 1970s. Many homeowners, especially those on fixed incomes, struggled to keep up with their tax bills that seemed to increase unpredictably each year. And the measure aimed to provide stability and predictability in property taxation. You know, for the last nearly half century, California's tax and spend politicians have been unsuccessfully trying to do away with this iconic proposition. And this year, it's no exception. To quote my dad, the state's broke, kiddo, and just watch, they're going to do away with Prop 13 to help make up the deficit. You know, he's right. Here's California's budget situation, which fell from a $100 billion surplus in 2022 to a deficit of $73 billion this year, as evidence that state lawmakers are spending way too much. As you're probably aware, trickery and wordplay on ballot measures are not new tactics. This year's Prop 5 measure is no different. Prop 5 lowers the public vote threshold for approving an ad valorem tax hike on 2/3 currently required to just 55%. Prop 5 would make it easier to raise taxes. And this is the exact loophole that persistent tax and spend politicians would love to have happen. By putting a deceptive title on Prop 5, California's Proposition 5 lowers supermajority requirement to 55% for local bond measures to fund housing and public infrastructure amendment. They are attempting to trick taxpayers into passing a tax hike measure. Now, you read that and you think you're helping fund housing and public infrastructure, which California desperately needs. But here's the California Taxpayers Association agreement against this proposition. More than 4 decades ago, promoted by years of rising taxes, Californians resoundingly approved Proposition 13 to provide a check on local government's taxing authority and to ensure a greater representative voice for those who would be taxed. Now, Proposition 13 also limits taxes on property to 1% of the property's assessed value. Reducing the voter threshold would diminish the people's voice on tax increases and would erode property tax safeguards. We have already seen droves of Californians leave the state. Successful property owners who have spent their lifetime here, raising their families, working their way up that ladder, all the while paying their fair share of taxes. If politicians are successful with doing away with Prop 13, well, that mass exodus of people we've seen and heard about may turn into a stampede. For many more California families who have stuck it out, the abolishment of Prop 13 may just actually be that straw that breaks their backs. Do yourself and your family a huge favor. This November, research and read the propositions carefully. Don't be complacent. And more importantly, do not get fooled into voting for something that you do not support. If you want more of this need-to-know info about San Diego real estate, be sure to subscribe to our channel and reach out to us anytime, especially when it comes time to make your next move. Our contact info is down below. Bye now.